This is the EdExcel GCSE 91 Maths Foundation Paper 1 from the November 2024 series, and this paper is a non-calculator paper. Question number 1. Write 25% as a decimal. To go from percentage to decimal, we divide by 100. 25 divided by 100 is 0.25, so 25% as a decimal is 0.25. Question number 2. Here are the first 4 even numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8. We have to find the 10th even number. Well, the first even number is 2, the second even number is 4, the third even number is 6, the fourth even number is 8. To find the 10th even number, we multiply 10 by 2 to get 20. 20 is the 10th even number. Question number 3. Change 15 centimeters into millimeters. To go from centimeters to millimeters, we would have to multiply by 10. Hence, 15 multiplied by 10 is 150. So we have 150 millimeters. Question number 4. Write down the multiple of 10 that is in between 20 and 30. Let's write down the multiples of 9. We have 9, 18, 27, 36, etc. The multiple of 9 that is in between 20 and 30 is 27. Question number 5. Work out 500 plus 145. 500 plus 100 is 600. Add another 40, that's 640, and adding on another 5, we get 645. Question number 6. Javid hires a car for 10 days. He pays £45 for each day. He also pays £30 for insurance. Javid pays with 10 £50 notes. Work out how much change he should get. So what he would pay altogether, well, I've got 10 multiplied by 45. This is for hiring the car, and then we add on the cost of the insurance. So we have 450 plus 30, which is equal to 480. Now he pays with 10 £50 notes, which means in total we have 10 multiplied by 50, which is 500. So, to work out how much change he would get, we have 500 subtract 480, which is equal to 20. Question number 7. Here is an accurately drawn triangle. Part A, measure the length of the side PQ. Give your answer in centimeters. If we measure PQ using a ruler, we end up with 9.5 centimeters. Part B. What type of angle is the angle marked X? The angle is less than 90, hence we have an acute angle. Part C. Measure the size of the angle marked X. If we measure the angle X, we get 32 degrees. Question number 8. Part A. Write down the coordinates of the point A. The coordinates of the point A, we've got 3 across and 1 up. So we have 3, 1. Part B. On the grid, mark with a cross the point 3, negative 4. So we've got 3 across, 4 down. The point B is over here. Part C. Write down the coordinates of the midpoint of AC. The midpoint of AC will be halfway between A and C in the X and the Y direction. That is over here. The coordinates are 0, 2. So we have 0, 2. Question number 9. Millie collects stickers for sports players. She only has stickers of tennis players, football players and cricket players. The incomplete bar chart shows information about the number of stickers Millie has. Millie has a total of 40 stickers. Complete the bar chart for part A. So for tennis, we've got 12. For football, we've got 17. So to work out the number for cricket, we would have to do 40, subtract 12 from tennis, subtract 17 for football, and working this out, we get 11. So we have 11 cricket players. Part B. What fraction of the 40 stickers are stickers of tennis players? Give your fraction in simplest form. So, for tennis, we have 12 out of 40. So we have 12 out of 40. And if we simplify this, we'll divide top and bottom by 2, we get 6 over 20. And divide top and bottom by 2 again, we get 3 over 10. So we have 3 tenths. E1 also collects stickers. He only has large stickers and small stickers. For E1 stickers, the number of large stickers to the number of small stickers is equal to 5 to 4. We have to write down the fraction of E1 stickers that are large stickers. Well, altogether 5 plus 4 is 9. And of those 9, 5 of them are large, so we have 5 ninths. Part D. Write the ratio 5 to 4 in the form n to 1. So we have 5 to 4. We want to write this in the form n to 1. To go from the 4 to the 1, I have to divide by 4. So I also have to divide the 5 by 4. And doing so, we get 1.25. So we have 1.25 to 1. Question number 10. Part A. On the grid, reflect the shaded shape in the mirror line. Well, if I reflect this shape in the mirror line, we end up with this shape here. Part B. Write down the equation of the mirror line. The equation of the mirror line is y equals 1. So we got y equals 1. Question number 11. 500 people were asked what type of film they like best. 280 of the 500 people were adults. 100 of the adults said they liked action films best. 80 of the children said they like thriller films best. 150 of the people said they like action films best. 200 of the people said they like comedy films best. Part A. Complete the two-way table. So, we've got 500 people in total, that's shown here. Then we've got 280 people who are adults. So we've got adults equaling 280. Then it says 100 of the adults said they liked action films best. So of those adults, action films is 100. Then it says 80 of the children said they liked thriller films best. So thriller children is 80. Then we are told 150 of the people said they like action films best. So that means the total for action films is 150. And then we are told 200 of the people said they like comedy films best. So comedy in total is 200. So now we can complete the two-way table. 150 take away 100 is 50. 500 take away 280 is 220. 500 take away 150 take away 200 is 150. 150 take away 80 is 70. 220 take away 50 take away 80 is 90. 200 take away 90 is 110. One of these 500 people is chosen at random. Part B, find the probability that this person is an adult who said they liked action films best. So we know that 100 of the adults said they like action films best. So we have 100 over the total of 500, which simplifies to 1/5. Question number 12. Ollie was asked to work out 5 subtract 3 times 4. Ollie wrote 5 subtract 3 equals 2. He then worked out 2 times 4. Explain what is wrong with Ollie's method. What he should have done first is calculate 3 times by 4. Question number 13. Here is a number machine. We input, we add 5, we divide by 2, we get an output. Part A. Find the output when the input is 11. So, we've got 11 plus 5, then we divide by 2. Then we get our output. 11 plus 5 is 16. So we have 16 divided by 2, which is 8. Question number 13, part B. Here is a different number machine. We have an input. We don't know what our next step is, but the step after is to multiply by 4 and we get an output. When the input is 10, the output is 20. 8. Part B, complete this number machine. So, we've got an output of 28 and we've got an input of 10. Let's suppose this is x. So, when I multiply this number by 4, I get 28. So, if I work backwards, I've got 28 divided by 4, which is 7. So that means here somewhere I'm going to go from 10 to 7. What could I have over here then? Well, I could have minus 3. Because 10 subtract 3 is 7, and then 7 times by 4 is 28. Question number 14. Here is a cuboid of length 10 centimeters and width 4 centimeters. The cuboid has a volume of 200 centimeters cubed. Part A, work out the height of the cuboid. So we have 10 times by 4 times by h equals 200. So we have 40h equals 200, which means h equals 5. Here is a different cuboid. Part B, we have to work out the surface area. So let's first of all do the front and the back. we've got 3 times by 6 twice. So we've got 3 times by 6 twice. Let's now look at the top and bottom. For the top and the bottom, we've got 5 times by 6 twice. So we've got 5 times by 6 twice. Let's look at the left and the right. For the left and the right, we've got 5 times by 3 twice. So we've got 2 times by 18 plus 2 times by 30 plus 2 times by 15. So we've got 36 plus 60 plus 30, and adding these together we get 126. So the surface area is 126 centimeters squared. Question number 15. Part A, factorize 6a plus 15. Well, the highest common factor of 6 and 15 is 3. So 3 goes on the outside and inside the bracket. 3 times by 2a gives 6a, and 3 times by 5 gives 15. Part B, solve 4 multiplied by 3y plus 1 equals 28. If I divide both sides by 4, that means this and this cancel. So I'm left with 3y plus 1 equals 7. So if I now subtract 1 from both sides, we end up with 3y equals 6. And if I divide both sides by 3, you will find this and this cancel, leaving us with y equals 2. Question number 16. 1 cup of tea and 1 cup of coffee costs £4.50. 3 cups of tea and 1 cup of coffee costs £8.50. We have to work out the total cost of 4 cups of tea and 3 cups of coffee. So we've got 1 T plus 1 C equals £4.50. Then we've got 3 T plus 1 C equals £8.50. If I call this equation 1 and this equation 2, and then if I do equation 2 take away equation 1, 3t take away t, that's just 2t. So I've got 2t equals 850 take away 450, which is just 4. So 2t equals 4, so that means t equals 2. So we've got 1t equals £2. So therefore, knowing that t is £2, we've got £2 plus 1 cup of coffee equals £4.50. And if I subtract 2 from both sides, you will find 1 cup of coffee equaling £2.50. So what we need to do in this question is work out 4 cups of tea and 3 cups of coffee. So therefore the cost is 4 multiplied by £2 plus 3 multiplied by £2.50. So I've got 8 plus 750, which is 1550. Question number 17. Gita wants to make 24 litres of green paint. She's going to mix blue paint, yellow paint and white paint in the ratio of 43:1. She has 12 litres of blue paint, 7 litres of yellow paint and 5 litres of white paint. Does Gita have enough blue paint, yellow paint and white paint to make 24 litres of green paint? You must show how you get your answer. So I've got blue to yellow to white being in the ratio of 4:3:1. What we want in total is 24 litres to make green paint. So let's make a total column. So we want to make 24 in total, and so far what we've got, 4 plus 3 plus 1 is 8. So what I now need to do is multiply these by 3. 8 times by 3 is 24. So 4 times by 3, that's 12. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 3 is 3. So what we have is 12 litres of blue paint, that's enough. We've got 5 litres of white paint, so we've got enough white here. We've only got 7 litres, so there's not enough here. So there's not enough yellow paint. Question number 18. Work out 818 divided by 1.2. So we've got 818.4 divided by 1.2. If I multiply the top and bottom by 10, we get 8184 divided by 12. Now, if I divide the top and bottom by 2, 8184 divided by 2 is equal to 4092, and then 12 divided by 2 is 6. If I now divide the top and bottom by 2 again, I get 2046 divided by 3. And what this is equal to is 682. Question number 19. The table shows the probabilities that a biased dice will land on 3, on 4, on 5, and on 6. Kareem assumes that the probabilities that the dice will land on 1 and on 2 are the same. Kareem rolls the biased dice 500 times. Assuming that Kareem is right, work out an estimate for the number of times the dice will land on 2. Well, we know that these two probabilities are the same. Let's call them x for now. We know that probabilities add up to 1. So I've got x plus another x plus 0.10 plus 0.30 plus 0.05 plus 0.25 equals 1. So I've got 2x plus 0.7 equals 1. So 2x is equal to 0.3, meaning x is equal to 0.15. So here we've got 0.15. So the probability of landing on 2 is 0.15, and if I roll the dice 500 times, that means I've got 500 times by, well, I would have 0.15 here. So this is the same as 15%. So if I work this out on the side, 10% equals 50, 5% equals 25, which means 15% equals 75. So 500 times 0.15 is 75. Kareem is wrong. The probability that the dice will land on a 2 is greater than the probability that the dice will land on a 1. How does this information affect your answer to part B? Well, if this probability is greater, that means the answer to part A would be greater than 75. Question number 20, part A. Work out 3.5, subtract 1 and a 6. Give your answer as a mixed number. Well, what we can do to begin with is convert everything into a top-heavy fraction. So the 3.5, 3 times by 2 plus 1, that's 7. So I've got 7 over 2, subtract. Now 1 and a 6, we've got 1 times by 6, which is 6, plus 1, which is 7. So I've got 7 over 6. Now I've got 7 over 2, subtract 7 over 6. What I can do is get everything over a common denominator of 6. The 7 over 6 I can keep as it is. Now 7 over 2, that is equivalent to 21 over 6. So I've got 21 over 6, subtract 7 over 6, which is 14 over 6. 6 goes into 14 2 whole times, and what's left over is 2. So I've got 2 and 2 sixths. 2 sixths I can simplify to 1/3. So I've got 2 and 1/3. Part B, show that 5 and 1/4 divided by 2 and 1/3 is equal to 2 and 1/4. Well, let's convert these into top-heavy fractions. So I've got 5 and 1/4 divided by 2 and 1/3. 5 times by 4 is 20 plus 1, that's 21. So I've got 21 over 4 divided by, now 2 and 1/3, well 2 times by 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, so then here I've got 7 over 3. So I've got 21 over 4 multiplied by 3 over 7. Now this 21 and this 7 cancel 3 times, so I've got 3 times by 3, which is 9, and then I've got 4 times by 1, which is 4. So I've got 9 over 4, which is 2 and 1/4. Question number 21. ABCD is a parallelogram. All the angles are measured in degrees. We have to find an expression in terms of E for the size of the angle CAD. Give a reason for each stage of your working. So, we need to find CAD. Well, first of all, this angle here will equal E. What's the reason for that? Is because we have alternate angles. First of all, we know that AB and DC are parallel. And then ACD is equal to the angle BAC, which is equal to E. And the reason for this is because the alternate angles are equal. And therefore, this angle here will equal 180 take away 3E, take away this other E, which is equal to 180 take away 4E. So, angles in a triangle sum to 180. So we've got 180 take away 4E, which is our expression. Question number 22. A car travelled 4.96 miles at an average speed of 30.4 miles per hour. We have to work out an estimate for the time taken by the car. Give your answer in minutes. So the approximate distance is 5 miles. The average speed is approximately 30 miles per hour. So the average time, that's approximately equal to, well, we've got speed equals distance divided by time. So that means time is distance divided by speed. So we've got over here 30 as our distance, as our speed. The distance is 5 miles, so here I would have 5 miles divided by 30 miles per hour. So here I get 1/6 of an hour, which is equal to 10 minutes. Part B is our answer to part A. An underestimate or an overestimate. Give a reason for your answer. Well, here we have an overestimate because you've rounded up. Question number 23. Here is a pentagon. The angle A is equal to the angle C. The angle B is 155. The angle D is 3 times the angle C. So this is 3 and then we know that angle E is 2 times the angle C. So if you know that this is A and this is A, that means this we can replace with A. And then we know that D is 3 times the angle C. So here we've got 3A. And we know that this angle is twice the angle C, so that's 2A. Because A and C are the same. So what are the sum of all the angles in a pentagon? So here we're going to have 5 take away 2 times by 180, which is equal to 540. That's what the angles in a pentagon equal. So we have A plus 155 plus another A plus 3A plus 2A equals 540. So let's simplify. We have 7A plus 155 equals 540. If I take away 155 from both sides, I've got 7A equals 385. And if I divide both sides by 7, you will find A to equal 55. So the angle A is 55 degrees. Question number 24. The graph shows the volume of water v litres in a tank at time t seconds. What does the gradient of this graph represent? Well, it represents the rate at which the water leaves the tank per second. Question number 25. Make W the subject of the formula y equals 3W subtract 10. If I add 10 to both sides, we have y plus 10 equals 3W. And then if I divide both sides by 3, we would have W equals y plus 10 over 3. Question number 26. Solve x squared subtract 2x subtract 15 equals 0. Well, what we need to do over here is factorize. We need two numbers which multiply to give minus 15 and which add to give minus 2. What are those two numbers? Well, we could have 5, minus 5 and 3. So we have x subtract 5 multiplied by x plus 3 equals 0. So from here, if x minus 5 equals 0, x equals 5. And from here, if x plus 3 is equal to 0, that means x equals minus 3. So x equals 5 or x equals minus 3.